Hey, it's your co-hosts Haley and Caitlin popping in with a little motivation to get your week started off right. Sometimes you just have to hear what you maybe don't want to hear.
Agreed.
Like,
Although in the moment I don't like it.
oh, like it hurts so bad. But then
Yes.
you're like, okay, no, like I needed to hear that. So, I've been working with these patients for a long time. It's a couple. Do you ever see couples together?
I used to, not as much really anymore.
Yeah, I don't do it a ton. But um if they either like both work from home or if they're retired, like they tend to kind of like eat the same and have the same routine. So it works really well. Anyways, I really like working with couples. So I've been working with this couple for a long time and they were feeling really frustrated about not making the progress that they wanted to see. And I would say I'm like a relatively gentle dietitian. Like I really want you to make the moves yourself and I'm just kind of like coaching you along.
Yeah.
But I had to give them some radical honesty and be like, guys, you're not doing what we've talked through. This is where you want to be and you're not doing the steps that we've discussed to get there. You are continually trying to take the easy way out and try to figure out if there's other supplements that you can do or some like quick fix diets, like should I try keto or, some more extreme things, even though they specifically came to me because they wanted to make a lifestyle change.
Yeah, and then there's this mismatch between your actions and like your behaviors, how you're showing up, and your actual desires. And so then you feel frustrated because I think we're really good at convincing ourselves that we are doing the right thing when if we heard from someone that, hey, what we're doing really isn't helpful, or we just paused and thought about it, we might be able to recognize like, okay, I'm just falling into the same traps that I've done before, maybe in a different way, they'll twist on it, but same patterns of looking for that quick fix rather than showing up for myself on a regular basis, which can be really challenging to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know we're both like really in that line between um like more of like a classic dietitian or that functional side of things, but then like intuitive eating. I feel like we have a good blend of the you know different types of approaches that you can take, and one piece that kind of gets hairy, especially with intuitive eating dietitians, is like tracking your food. But I know that both of us use that as a tool, and it can be a really good way to have people kind of have that radical honesty for themselves. I'm like, oh, this is what I'm actually doing. And oh, I didn't realize how many times I was, grabbing into the candy bowl at work or going to the pantry and grabbing a snack after dinner. And it can bring out mindless eating or, recognizing your portion sizes or all sorts of things.
Or what I see a lot is people think, oh, I'm doing great with protein. They'll be telling me that for weeks. And then once they actually get to tracking their food, they're having like 60 grams a day. I'm like, that is nowhere near enough.
Right.
Right. But having that objective data can be really helpful to be able to be honest with yourself about things.
Mhm.
And we can still sometimes like, oh, well, this is why I did this and come up with all these excuses of reasons why. But if we're not honest with ourselves, we're going to be caught in the same hamster wheel for years on end. The same hamster wheel you've maybe been in for years with dieting and your health and all these things, right?
Yeah.
Because again, we're just trying the same thing over and over again, but with a twist. We think this new
Mhm.
feels better. But when, in all honesty, we just need to show up for the boring foundations.
Yes. And you said like being honest with yourself, and that is so true because people sometimes are not self-aware enough. But you also have to be honest with us as your dietitians. And I think we both do a good job of helping people feel comfortable and like you know, we're a judgment-free zone where we're not going to make you feel bad, you know, if you're not doing everything perfectly. But if you're not honest with us about what you are doing, then we can't really, like, I don't know how to help you.
You can't.
Yeah.
You just can't, because you're getting this story of
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm hitting my protein, doing all this. And so then if nothing's changing, we're going down this rabbit hole figuring out like, well, what could be going on? Like, we need to try these other avenues. And the reality is you're just not doing what you said you're doing. And
Yes.
one of my favorite phrases, this mainly comes up with like newer clients and they haven't really, maybe we haven't built the rapport, they're not feeling totally comfortable yet, is I'll be honest with you. I was like,
Yes.
Jill, please be honest with me. Because if you're not, you're only hurting yourself. Like, I don't care.
Right.
That's what I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. And if you're not honest, then what's the point?
Exactly. And I feel like most of the time I end up being like, okay, I expected like the worst when you say that. And it's like, you gave me 3 goals and I did 2 of them 95% and one of them only 50%. I'm just such a failure. And it's like, you did really, really good. What are you feeling so bad about?
So I think that's like the flip side of the radical honesty too, is we can get, if we've been in this history of having to go all or nothing, this diet culture stuff, we can feel like we have to be perfect with things. And the same thing happens to me. It happened to me yesterday. A client said, oh, I didn't do really well, and then proceeded to list off all the positive things they did. So I think in reality, it can go both ways. So if you're feeling stuck, or if you're feeling like, hey, I feel like I'm making progress, but I'm not to the place that I want to be at, just pause, look at yourself and say, what needs to change here? How am I actually showing up for myself? And be able to be honest with yourself. No judgment, just curiosity. And that allows you to make the changes necessary to move forward.
Yep. Love it.
All right.
All right. Have a good week. Cheers.